Welcome to week 3 of Friday Night Lights. Thanks for joining us. I'm Alexis Bass. While a handful of our teams were on the road tonight in far, far away places, we patrolled a few local sidelines to catch the game live in action tonight. My right-hand man, Daniel Chiarelli, all the way up to the Iron Range.
That's right,
tonight.
Bass. And don't scream. I did see some fall colors on that drive off Highway 53. But before we head to the Iron Range, you got to watch one of the most dangerous teams in the Northland.
That was interesting. Let's take you there. The 2-0 Hermantown Hawks visiting the 1-1 Duluth Greyhounds. But both fan sections on the same page tonight, repping the red, white, and blue. So it's Team USA versus Team USA. Hawks already up 7-0 after Marcus Sleen Teddy. Sawyer Sense with a handoff to Sleen, but Sleen fumbles the ball. Anthony Carlson got a scoop and score on his radar, making the 78-yard fumble recovery untouched as East makes this a 7-6 game real fast. Second quarter now, and Sense drops back and right up the middle finds a wide-open Grant Johnson. He snags that one, and it's off to the races from there. The 67-yard touchdown pass doubles the Hawks lead, 14-6. On the Hawks' next drive, a few minutes later, Jimmy Barsh bullies his way on through, and the Hawks are soaring and scoring again, 21-6. And after trucking down the field, the Hawks D-line gets called for 3 false starts. It cost them there. East takes every bit of it. Their 2-point conversion is good, too, to make this 21-14. Then Sense finds Johnson up the middle again. Johnson, takes the hard hit there, drags a pair of defenders into the end zone with him to put a bow on the first half, 28-14. Both squads found more offense in the second, but it was the Hawks who found more to go 3-0 following tonight's 42-22 final.
And next we head to the Iron Range for the Hibbing Blue Jackets home opener against the boys from Esko, hitting that famous blue turf. And they'd hit the scoreboard first as well. An angry run right up the gut by junior running back Logan Dahlman pops the bucket loose, but gives his team the early 7-0 advantage. Blue Jackets defense looking to stop Esko now on 4th down on their next drive, and they're successful taking over on downs. But Esko's defense, they were ferocious in the first half as well, holding Hibbing to just 1 first down in the first 2 quarters. Still just a 7-0 game in the second quarter. Nothing that a little triple option magic can't fix. Senior running back Graham Hartley goes 25 yards, basically untouched, right into pay dirt. Esko goes up by 13, and they wouldn't allow the Jackets to sniff the end zone at all tonight. They cruise to a 28-0 shutout win and move to 2-1 on the season. On other fields across Minnesota, the Two Harbors Agates defeated the Mora Mustangs in a big way, 40-14. As for the Cherry Tigers, they took down Chisholm 52-24, while the I-Falls Broncos had a road meeting with the Rush City Tigers, falling 58-21 the final.
Okay on the road, but came up short to the North Branch Vikings, 30-16. Proctor Rails also on the road. They were shut out 68-0 in Pequot Lake. Oh, man.
I still love you, Proctor.
Protected home turf with a decisive, 55-0 shutout win over the Denfeld Hunters.